Thank you for joining us in part 2 of Backpack CRM User Interface Overview. If you watched our first video, we went through each of the items in the main menu here. What we'd like to focus now is the context area across the top and the tabs of information you see there. Basically, what we wanted to do was organize the information in a format that allows users to access quickly, but doesn't overwhelm them with too much information. Okay? Many sales strategists say if you can take one item, one task, put it on your desk, focus on it 100%, complete it, and move on to the next task, that is how people are most productive. Now, there's some realities involved in that. Obviously, the phone's ringing, we have emails to deal with, but we try and do that the best we can with Backpack CRM, allowing you to focus on the task at hand. So, the context area quite clearly will let you know exactly where you are in the system. So for right now, we are in My CRM for Susan May, who we've logged in as. As you can see, Susan has some managerial rights to access other people's calendars, their opportunities, etc. If I actually put a person here and search find, you can see it brings up Peter Johnson. If I hit the go arrow next to that, I have access to Peter's calendar, leads, sales opportunities, etc. So as a manager, you can drill down on other people's information, etc. Okay? So let's actually go back to Susan here. Okay. So for training purposes, for ease of use purposes, if you're not sure where you're at when we're walking through the demonstration, look in the context area. You'll see the diary, and it'll also say exactly where we're at, whether we're in an opportunity or a company, etc. That will all change. Just below the context area, we have a series of tabs. And getting back into the ease of use, ease of customization, ease of manipulation for the users, let's show you a couple examples here. All the way to the right, you'll see 3 small dots, and I'm going to actually click on that. And what that raises is a tab list. So you know what? If I don't use the document library, and we don't use the leads section, and I don't want to see my preferences tab, if I want to narrow it down to only these 4 bits of information, I can do that without being an administrator. Okay? Users have to have the ability to set up their system the way they prefer to work. And that's very important with Backpack CRM. So I can always go back in. It tells me that there's 4 tabs hidden. I can go back in and turn those tabs back on very simply, clicking the boxes and hitting save, and it gives me all of my tabs of information back. So speaking of user preferences, you can actually see a tab called My Preferences here. Okay? My Preferences in Backpack CRM are the ability for individual users to set up the system the way they prefer to work. So you're not relying on your administrators to do all of this stuff. You know, quite simply, if I'm a salesperson, maybe I want to log into my opportunity list. If I'm a support person, I want to log right into my support cases. Maybe I prefer my calendar, or what about my dashboard, which I'll show you about later, or my lead list. Okay? I can set this up the way I prefer to work. Do I want to empty the recent list for each session? Now again, why would we get down to this level of detail? Well, it's quite simple. If I deal with the same 10, 15, 20 accounts quite frequently, I cannot empty that recent list. And that way I will always have them in my recent list to jump to. Okay, they won't refresh every time. Now when I log out, if I say yes to that, it will refresh this every time, and I'll keep the most recent information that I've used. Okay? How much information all the way to the right here do I want to see on the screen, 25 bits or 10 bits? Okay, now that's kind of important too if you're on a hotel connection, a slow connection, and you don't have the offline utility. Right? Maybe I only want to see 10 so it comes down the pipeline a little bit faster. What's my search default screen? Company, person, opportunity, support case, lead. Individual preferences are wonderful to be able to set up without having to go to your administrator and say, hey, I want that set up. Okay? And I'll leave this screen up here a little bit. You can see screen item positions. Do I want to see pipelines, which are graphical pipelines? You know what? Some people don't need that kind of thing, and some people do, but with Backpack CRM we give you the options. Okay? Scroll all the way to the bottom here, and you even see your reminder preferences. Do I prefer to get a reminder from desktop email, mobile email, or an SMS message on my cell phone? Go ahead and click save or cancel on that. We'll keep our default here. You'll also look where you see Install CRM Outlook Integration. Okay? We have not made this a difficult process. You click the button, it installs the Outlook, and you can do bidirectional synchronization with your Outlook client for tasks, calendaring, and for persons or contacts. Okay? So everything you maintain in your Outlook, you can bidirectionally synchronize and keep updated within CRM and vice versa. And we also understand that that's very important. Okay? So my preferences. It's a critical nuance in ActPack CRM, allowing users to set up their personalized CRM system, not something that somebody's forcing down their throat. So back up to the tab. Let's click on My Dashboard. And what is My Dashboard? Well, a lot of companies will tell you, well, dashboards are analytical devices that, have numbers, profitability of customers, and this and that. Well, the problem is that every business has or needs different information. You cannot possibly design analytical dashboards that cover the gamut of all businesses. So our dashboard and our definition is what I like to call blocks of information that I feel are pertinent to my everyday job. So in this case, you can see Susan has a list of her opportunities, and all of these are hyperlinks to take you directly there. An actual chart of opportunities by territory. My high priority opportunities, so that'll narrow me down and allow me to focus on the deals that I really want to focus on. My team's high priority opportunities. Again, we go back to team selling and the team concepts. My recently created leads, so if you have new web leads coming in, well, boom, they pop up on your dashboard right away, and you can get that call in right away and get focused. Well, how easy is it for you to set that up? Let's click on My Dashboard Setup in the lower left-hand corner. And you can see a list of many, many options that you have here. And we'll actually go ahead and, I want my appointments on my dashboard also. So I'm going to highlight that, click the green arrow, and click Save. And you can see immediately that my appointments are added in the lower right-hand corner here for me to drill down on and use. So my dashboard is a very functional, operational page that power users especially really enjoy. My contacts are quite simply the people that I'm going to synchronize up and down with my Outlook. Okay, I might not want my grandma to come up from Outlook, and I might not want some folks that are in the CRM system to go down to my Outlook. So we give you the ability to segregate that information out, and I can do it by individual contacts or by groups, and they're very easily added, and then whenever you synchronize, the data updates, their phone numbers, their address information, etc. We talked about my preferences already. We've seen my calendars and tasks in our previous demonstration. And then we get to the pertinent information about our sales process. First, we've got a list of our leads, okay, new leads in the system. And if I actually click on this lead, you'll see we capture all of our information in a lead status. And then on the right-hand side, you've even got workflows. We've built a workflow here where we can rate the lead. We can reassign it to somebody else in our organization. We can edit this. We can quickly create a callback with one click of one button. And that's what we call CRM workflow. And we'll get into more detail in that in further demonstrations. Okay. So very much like the leads, you can see a pipeline here. The pipeline will show you in opportunities how that actually works. So this is a list of the opportunities for Susan May. And remember, we can also see this same exact page in a team format. So the entire direct sales team with a list of opportunities. In the upper right-hand corner, we have sales statistics. So right now you see 8 opportunities with a forecasted amount of almost $700,000. A weighted forecast, which can be built into the workflow. So, for example, at the stage of demonstrate, we close those opportunities 75% of the time. So that's 75% of your forecasted amount is your weighted forecast. Okay, your average value, your average certainty, etc. Now, the pipeline itself is a filter criteria. So if I only want to see the opportunities that are in the stage of proposal submitted, I can actually click on that on the pipeline. It'll bring up only those 3 opportunities, and it will change my sales statistics in the upper right-hand corner to only those 3 opportunities. Okay. So very important, I can focus on the opportunities that are most likely to close. I have this information available to me as an individual user, and remember, as a manager, I can see the same information in a team environment. Okay. We also have the ability to filter on the right-hand side for status, stage, and these will be different for every organization. These are stages of the business process or the workflow. Okay? And even by territory. So if I only want to see my U.S. East or however you design territories, high priority opportunities, I can drill down to that information. So it really makes it very easy for salespeople, sales personnel to use this product. The document library itself has individual documents and global documents. And you can actually see, I don't have any in here right now, but basically these would be marketing brochures, marketing collateral, etc., that we would have access to simply email out or mail out to our clients in a global way. So everyone has access to the central repository of documents to view, and that's very important. Okay? And support cases, I imagine I don't have any of those. No, I'm logged in as Susan May. I'm not a support technician. So that goes back to the main issue we started with. I would not necessarily want cases. I don't have access to them, so I can hide that and not waste my time with unused information. Okay. So that's tabs in ACTAC CRM. I hope you are comfortable with the fact that ACTAC CRM is very easy to navigate. And as you can see, moving through the system, it moves very quickly. It's very easy on the eyes. It's definitely something you can work with for well, we'll say 8 hours, but we all know the reality. And I do thank you for joining me today in part 2 of ACTAC CRM User Interface. And we look forward to talking to you again.